are not as high as people who are actively using it. So to answer your original question, I would say yes. Anything below, I would say 90 and above would be like superior, or whatever we want to call the highest category. I do still think probably 80 to 90, I think most brands would still consider like pretty outstanding. When I was at Bottle Bar, I don't remember, it fluctuated quite a bit, but we hovered like constantly probably in like the high 60s to 70s, which like I had no point of reference back then. So I thought that's great. But kind of once I learned how the process works and how it's an average between, a bunch of different groups you could send it to, and basically how you could get to 100, I realized that was actually like quite bad. So I think we maybe one of the brands I should have mentioned earlier was like I think also Tesla, maybe not so much recently, but up until now they did have pretty high NPS, and so I think it was kind of brands like that we were hoping to benchmark ourselves against, because we knew that they were always in the 90s.
And so the follow-up question was, do you happen to have any information about when, like, any correlation between Net Promoter Score and virality? Like when you get above a certain Net Promoter Score, that generally that indicates that people will be talking about your product that, in a way that leads to viral, effectively is a viral marketing outcome?
No, I don't know that we've done that analysis per se. Maybe we're in a special situation where we maybe weren't collecting NPS like in the exact beginning of the company, but I've never seen an NPS for us like ever probably below like 85 or maybe like 83. So maybe that's something that I don't think we've ever been like super concerned about. It goes hand in hand, I would say, also with like our churn rate is just it's so low that for the most part, and we know this will get higher with time as we have more people coming in who aren't like that kind of like that first mover in technology, but the churn rate's always been so low that it's like safe to say that the vast majority of every bike that was ever sold is still actively being used with the original buyer.
I was also wondering about other metrics that you may use, like, average speed of answering, average handling time. Are you utilizing some of those in addition to Net Promoter Scores? Are there any other, if you will, kind of key performance indicators you're using as well to track your performance in the customer service space?
Yeah, I would say some that you just named are very important, and those are, we look at NPS on a monthly basis, but like, average time to reply to X, whether it's a chat or a phone call or an email, we have different benchmarks for each. Those are, being monitored kind of on a minutely basis. That's kind of what we are projecting on the screens, like, for everybody to see. It helps kind of the managers know, they're scheduling shifts for people, so lets them know, like, if we have an outstanding queue outside of our comfort zone, like at this exact moment, that we need to get a couple more people on the phones. I think like email is for example a good one. I think a lot of our customers still choose to email. Maybe they don't consider their questions urgent. I know personally myself, a brand didn't have like a chat function, I wouldn't even consider buying from them because I want an answer immediately. Which we do have chat. I think just a lot of people choose email still. And I believe it's 12-hour response time is the goal, I guess the max that we would allow for a response to each email. And I believe it comes in around like 5 hours on average. So, we're beating it by more than half, which is great. And then the chats, there's each customer service agent who is live at the time is, able to manage up to a certain number of chats, like maybe like 4 or 5 different chats at a time, I believe. So we're able to get a lot of that pushed through very quickly. And most of the phone calls, interestingly enough, are us actually reaching out and following up with people, not so much inbound. I would say the vast majority of inbound phone traffic that we get is actually for like telephone sales, inside sales, we refer to them as. And that, that transfers to another team who manages and sells the bike over the phone.